Hello, salutations. What to do? It's Sadot the Gamer, all father. Durag gang, know the vibes like a scribe. Let's get it. Welcome back. It's been a while, chat. Been doing less streams lately, but decided to get back into it a little bit. How's everyone doing? Saw Captay was up in here. What's up, Mega Sith? So that calls Xbox L-Box, but you can only play Arkham Origins collection on PC and Xbox. That's actually not true. I have Arkham Origins on PS5. It was playing it a while ago. You can get it if you're a premium member of PlayStation Plus. What's up, No Cap? What up, Taladia? Runner, what up, what up? What up, Awa, Luis? What's up, Shadow Widow, Jace, Farico? Cecile, what up? How you doing? Feeling all right? This was premiere. It's usually a premiere, but usually premieres though typically don't have my face anymore. So if it's if you see my face, it's probably not a premiere. Though one of my upcoming videos, that might not be the case. I'm waiting for some Miller stuff to drop related to Avengers, and I'll probably just record that, or maybe live stream it. We'll see. What up, Kev? Let me blow this chat up a little bit. Haven't played this game for a while. It's still pretty fun. Much love. Appreciate Durag Nation coming in. What's up, Luke, Jat? Nick Victory, what up? There's been more DLCs for Marvel's Avengers than Gotham Knights. I mean, Marvel's Avengers is a game that came out in 2020, and it lasted 2.5 years before it shut down. Gotham Knights as an entire game has only been available for less than 6 months. So not really a fair comparison there. What up, Talus? You love they fixed Spotty's drone. They fixed a lot of stuff. Funny enough, that patch made more people want to play, and it's the last patch for the game. It's crazy. Yep, Avengers giving out exotics at the carrier now. Yep. Gotham Knights has ended. No new content. Well, that's the thing. Gotham Knights was never a live service game, so it never technically ended anything. And I want to talk about DLC specifically today because I think it's likely that we'll see some DLC, at the very least, an announcement of DLC this year, because I think there's some misconceptions about Gotham Knights that I'm seeing a lot. Jez Corden is an insider at Rocksteady. He's not an insider specifically of Rocksteady, but a lot of prominent people in the gaming industry, especially in media, have contacts that work in various studios. That's usually how this stuff happens. Like a Jeff Grubb, he doesn't work for Rocksteady, but he knows people who work at Rocksteady that feed, and some of them feed him information. That's how it usually works. You watched a live chat with the cast from Gotham Knights? The cast of Gotham Knights? You mean, are you talking about the show? Because there wasn't any recent live streams that I'm aware of involving any of the voice talent for Gotham Knights. One of the stream will be members only. Nope, this one I'll leave up for the VOD, so anyone can watch the replay. Can I react to Caboose Marvel Spider-Man 2? Does he have a new video about Marvel Spider-Man 2 that I'm unaware of? I'm subscribed to Caboose with noties on, so I didn't notice anything. Oh, he just dropped something new. Oh, yeah, there's no reason to react to that. If he's talking about the Yuri Lowenthal information that came out. If you want to see what I think of the Yuri Lowenthal information, I literally dropped a new video an hour ago. It's a short, and it's basically a quick 15-second summary, but I make it nice and entertaining about the whole Yuri Lowenthal information. It's in the YouTube Shorts tab on my page. You can go check that out right now. I just dropped it an hour ago. Yeah, I heard the news yesterday, and I saw people start making videos about it, and I was like, let's be honest. I felt like it's fine if other people wanted to make long form videos about it, and I'm guessing Caboose has some commentary to it, but I didn't think there was enough information to justify making a full video on it. That's why I just made it a short, because there's really nothing to it. Yuri Lowenthal did an AMA about completely unrelated stuff to Spider-Man. A bunch of people asked him about Spider-Man, and the only Spider-Man questions he answered was to say, stop asking about Peter's face. He's done answering those questions. Don't ask him about Peter's face anymore. And someone asked him about his mocap and voice work, and he confirmed that all of his mocap sessions, all of his voice work is finished, which isn't really that surprising, because if you're familiar with kind of the inner workings of gaming, voice work is done pretty early. Mocap is usually wrapped up after, because it takes a lot more, and there's a lot more to it when it comes to that. But voice work they can do extremely early on, because all they need for voice work is the actual script and the story fleshed out. Actual mocap comes in when they actually are deeper into the actual game itself, because they have to have the character models already so that they can capture the motion. But it's no surprising at all that all his work is done, because the game is supposed to come out in a few months, and his voice work is probably done realistically like 2 years ago, or a year ago. What's up, Nava? I am a both DC and Marvel fan. I lean DC though. I have not watched Gotham Knights on CW at all. I will never watch a single episode of that. It looks absolutely dog water. They still asking about Peter's face. You know it. All the time. What's up, Reed? Reed Richards. Shout out to Reed. I hear Adam Driver is going to be playing you in the MCU. Congratulations, I guess. Superman would be at Gotham Knights. That'd be hilarious. So I want to talk about DLC, because shout out to Taladia Plays. They had, and I appreciate the sub, Lil. They released someone released concept art from Gotham Knights, specifically for several characters: Catwoman, Damian Wayne, Solomon Grundy, and the Architech. I did a video on that a few days ago as well, and I heard a lot of people saying this is, the game has been abandoned. There's no DLC, and there's the misconception I want to clear up about Gotham Knights. It's not just, first of all, it's not a live service game. People's expectations for the game would make sense if this was a live service game, but it's not. It's only been 4 months, about 4 months since the Gotham Knights Heroic Assault DLC came out. And because there hasn't been another DLC right after that, people assume the game is done. non-live service games do not release DLC that frequently. A DLC every 4 months is something you would expect from a live service game. For example, if you look at Midnight Suns, or even other deals like Horizon as well. Horizon Forbidden West, their first DLC didn't come out until this week. Or I think it was this week. Pretty sure it was this week. And the game came out in February of last year. Midnight Suns came out around the same time as Gotham Knights. Their first DLC didn't come out until this year. Gotham Knights just happened to launch with their DLC. They brought it out a month later, and they've released patches since then. But because they didn't do another one immediately after, people for some reason immediately assume they were done with the game. If they were done, they wouldn't even be doing patches. Like, so they're clearly still supporting the game. And I know for a fact there was DLC planned, paid DLC planned before the game came out. Now you can argue plans probably changed because the game didn't sell well, but I found out recently that's not true. It actually did sell well. Not only was it one of the best selling games of the entire year, which is crazy considering how stacked 2022 was, it met all of WB's sales goals. So financially, there's actually no reason for them not to have paid DLC. Dr. Awkward's trolling, but first of all, I know he's gonna immediately be playing that DLC when it drops. But I think they're gonna announce some DLC in the next couple of months. And I think a lot of people are going to be surprised because they assume the game was just dead. And that wasn't the case. Midnight Suns dropped in December. Yeah, it dropped a little bit. It got delayed. It was originally supposed to come out the same time as Gotham Knights, pretty much, but the next gen version got delayed. They never said anything one way or another about deal. I mean, they obviously did say they were doing DLC because they did DLC in the forms of cosmetics, you know, tied into the comics, but they didn't say anything about paid DLC, or specifically not publicly. At least they did say stuff about paid DLC behind the scenes, but they didn't say anything about it publicly. But people assumed they weren't going to do it because they thought, well, it's been a few months. Therefore, if there's nothing now, there's not going to be anything. And I don't think people should have had that expectation, especially when the game didn't launch with a battle pass. Since it didn't have a battle pass, people should have expected, okay, maybe this would be more like a Marvel Spider-Man situation. Or even a Horizon situation where they're kind of spreading out the DLC. They're looking at how things are doing. And they're going to make decisions based on that. You almost done with completing it? I'm seeing every day. I'm seeing more and more people get into the game. It really is fun. By no means perfect.
No one messes with Gotham.
What's up, Travis? Would enjoy Lejeune watch Lejeune eat a lemon, let's be honest, would be hilarious. Lejeune in general is just hilarious. You still play every once in a while? It's good to play every once in a while too, because like you can still get people still play the game like all the time. Like I have an easier time matchmaking in Gotham Knights than I do in Avengers. Which is crazy. Like, consistently. I'm not even exaggerating. Whenever I want to play multiplayer in Gotham Knights, I just turn on matchmaking. I either join somebody immediately, or because this game has join in progress, I'll just take my privacy to public, and then I'll just be playing Heroic Assault, and somebody will just randomly pop in. Like multiple people will just randomly pop in. And we'll just be running.
Officers needed to investigate near Wayne Tower. We have a possible explosive device reported.
Are the rumors true about Rocksteady rebuilding the game from scratch? Not at all. Nah, those are not true. I can tell you that for a fact. They are not rebuilding the game from scratch. What they are going to do is definitely a much bigger delay than simple polishing, but they're absolutely not doing it from scratch. It would take way, if they were doing it from scratch, they would not have a date. That would take way longer. Monster Hunter, I could not get into Monster Hunter. Has anyone done? Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos on the upgrading formula for Gotham Knights. Problem is the entire mod system is nonsense. Ooh, wrong button.
I got it.
Deadfall.
Around and stay quiet and everything will be fine.
Deadfall is tough. I'm gonna miss one. Heard the 1-1 game is using the Unreal Engine 5.1. I've not heard anything about the engine. I don't think. Jedi Survivor is gonna be fire. It better be fire. That game is 150 gigs. It might be the actual largest file size for a single player game in history. Without exaggeration. It is 150 gigs on console. On PS5. To download Jedi Survivor. Bro, I think that game is going to be a buggy mess at launch. I have a feeling. There are too many signs. Like Paul Tassi didn't want to say it in his article. He was like, maybe it's just a really massive game, you know, like a Red Dead Redemption, even though it doesn't have multiplayer. Or he slid in like, or it could just be poorly optimized. It's definitely poorly optimized, bro. Come on now, we're seeing too many signs. Like Jedi Survivor, Fallen Order, the first game in the series, launched buggy. They had to delay Jedi Survivor because of performance issues. Already. They've not shown any raw, unedited gameplay. We're like 8 days away. We've not seen any raw gameplay that's unedited. The hands-on preview that they had the creators do from EA would not allow them to capture any footage. And now we find out the file size is freaking 150 gigs. Even though it's a single player game. Bro, it's definitely poorly optimized. There's no way it's not. I need to see it to believe it. I'm going to be curious to see those reviews. I'm going to be real curious to see those reviews. I was hoping I could get a review copy for myself. If not, I'll check out, you know, a Skill Up or somebody's. But there's no way that game is properly optimized. And it's coming in at 150 gigs on PlayStation. It's not like it's a semi-open world. They've added some new planets. It's not that dissimilar from the first game. They just added some new planets and give you more stuff to do on them. 150 gigs is crazy. The series, that's what I'm saying. Like, that makes no sense. Why is the Series S 44 gigs? Why is the S 44 gigs and it's like 150 for everybody else? That doesn't make any sense. And we always hear the Series S, the Xbox Series S is always getting in the way. It's always the one that's messing everything up. Yeah, Gotham Knights, I would be willing to bet we're getting, at the very least, a Gotham Knights DLC announcement this year. Because I don't think they're actually done. I think people mistakenly thought the game was live service. And when they didn't immediately have another DLC ready to go, they just assumed that they had abandoned support. Plus the fact that WB Montreal is actually working on another game. They announced their hiring. They haven't officially revealed the game, but they are currently hiring for their next project. It's a DC game. It's single player, open world. It's going to be built in Unreal Engine 5. So people are assuming it's Superman. But that's all we know. It's DC, it's single player, open world, Unreal Engine 5. And that's what the studio's working on. Have you seen how much money? No, they have not. Game studios typically don't give a lot of that information out, but we do know, according to one of their marketing executives, the game met their sales goal, and we know that it was one of the 13. It was a top 15 best-selling game of the year. Here's a great next game should be based off the best DC character, Calendar Man. He trolling. James Gunn said no Superman games be made until the movies are released. That's cap. James Gunn does not have that say. But he's probably right. And specifically because if the only Superman game that we know of that could be in development is whatever mysterious game WB Games Montreal is working on. And the fact that they haven't announced it yet means it's probably a couple years away from coming out anyway. But DC, James Gunn does not control what DC properties get licensed. He said that he plans on having video games tie into his DC universe, but he specifically does not have control over what WB licenses for their games. Like, the Wonder Woman game was in development before James Gunn even got there. Whatever the second DC game WB Games Montreal is working on, they were planning that before James Gunn even left Marvel. So he has no say on that. We haven't heard anything recent about Wonder Woman yet. Not since my last video, where they did some new hiring. But it's April, so you're realistically not even going to hear about games that aren't coming out this year, for sure, until it makes sense. And that would be like summertime, because you're going to have a bunch of different showcases. So if you're waiting for news about games that aren't coming out this year or anytime soon, look for around where E3 normally would be. So Summer Game Fest, there's going to be a PlayStation showcase, Ubisoft, Ford, all that stuff. They're all having their own showcases.
But you're seeing stars.
If Rocksteady will move it to always online, game will be popular. Not at all. That's not going to have any effect on the sales. I guarantee you. The always online thing is something that bothers a very small percentage of people who are going to buy the game. What they want to do is they want to appeal to just more people in general by polishing what they already have. Nobody markets a game as always online or anything like that, because literally no one cares. No one actually cares. It's something that people, it affects so few people, like it doesn't matter in marketing. It's something that people will criticize a game for, but it's not something people will buy a game for. That's not going to have any impact on the popularity. What they can do to when they bring it back around is have something ready, have a better presentation. Go into more detail about the end game. maybe have a DLC tease ready, show non-shooting gameplay. Maybe I talk about that's something they should tweak, because I feel like King Shark, you know, they mentioned that he's the fastest melee fighter in the game, but they didn't really demonstrate much melee.
Looks like this is it.
Like they showed a couple of his melee attacks. They showed takedowns. They showed like his aerial ground slam and like one ground melee attack. But if there is a significant melee component to the game, show it. If not, that's something they should definitely work on, because if they can have like DLC characters that aren't just shooters, that'll open up the game to a lot more potential people,
A large group of known gang members has been reported.
because they'll be able to have more popular characters.
Over the years, we did business with these amateurs.
This package is just what we need.
You know, like if they were able to reveal like a Poison Ivy or a Bizarro, I think that's what's going to make people want to buy the game.
Should have taken your business elsewhere.
What's up, TMC? Yeah, I haven't been streaming that. I haven't been streaming that much lately on the channel. We've just been focusing. I've been mainly streaming on the second channel, the After Show podcast. We moved that to its own channel. I've done a couple streams on Kick. But on this channel, haven't really done as much. If you're talking about Suicide Squad, I was gonna get Suicide Squad anyway. I didn't think it was good that the game was online only, but I didn't care enough that it would stop me from actually buying it. I was ready to get the game as is. I didn't care that much. I thought it was something they should fix. But I wasn't like, oh man, it's always online. Guess I'm not getting it.
Hell yeah.
Because it doesn't really affect me. That wasn't a deal breaker.
Knew it was around here.
You're gonna join in?
Finally found it.
Isn't it great this game has actual join in progress? Let me adjust the privacy. Yeah. Right now I have it at friends only. So if you're on my friends list, you can just jump right in. Yep, we do have a members only Discord. It's one of the perks of becoming a member.
Officers request immediate backup. Under attack!
Exclamation mark join if you want to do it on the YouTube side. You can also get access to Discord if you become a member on Coffee. That's the cheapest way to get access to the Discord. Get down. Good morning, Digital.
I don't like this.
How you doing today?
Someone like you could change my mind about vigilantes.
the same side.
You feel like Avengers started self-sabotaging. But I didn't get fixed until Avengers self-sabotage from the beginning. Avengers was dead in the water as soon as they decided to convert the Foundation engine into a multiplayer supporting engine instead of just paying for Unreal. That was the beginning of the end. It was self-sabotaging before it even came out.
Listen, I called for backup. You should probably leave before they get here.
It really didn't have much. Avengers, what the Avengers need to do was be able to adjust after it released, and it just didn't. Why would I guarantee Rocksteady's removing always online? I don't have a source at Rocksteady, unfortunately. I mean, I have a source that I have Jay Shockblast, but he doesn't ask that sort of stuff to when it comes to WB, and he probably wouldn't tell me anyway. Well, he would probably tell me. He might tell me privately. He would not. He would, but it would be a private thing. As I already reported in my video, according to Jez Corden, that's one of the things that they're working on. According to whatever source he's talking to, they're removing always online. Rocksteady has not publicly come out and said what they're doing at all in regards to Rocksteady. In regards to Suicide Squad, they haven't even told us an actual reason for the delay, other than just vague PR speak about trying to give us the best experience possible. Redfall, for instance, has a lot of problems, but they've at least, because they're not delaying, they've specifically addressed issues that they're going to fix, like always online. That was a complaint about Redfall. They said that that's something they're going to work on, as well as the lack of a performance mode, which is crazy.
They had a bit of an issue with Clayface at Blackgate.
No, I don't want to hear this.
Clayface is not active in the exercise yard because...
Do I need another player? I don't need another player, but if anyone wants to...
You're the worst.
Join. If anyone want... Like, we could just launch Heroic Assault. If anyone wants to actually play Heroic Assault, that's perfectly fine as well. We could just do that. In fact, Exo Primal looks better. Suicide Squad is. I mean, Exo Primal just looks ridiculous. I hear it's better than it looks. But I didn't think Suicide Squad looked bad at all. I just didn't like some of the. I just was nervous about some of the stuff I heard, like always online, free DLC. You know, the heavy emphasis on shooting, even though you have a melee character. Like, I don't know, like if they just wanted to make a shooter, I don't understand why King Shark is even in the game. That tells you how long the game's been in development though, because they were like, hey, in 2016 they were like, hey, let's make a Suicide Squad game, because they were planning on pushing the Suicide Squad in DC, and they had the James Gunn Suicide Squad, and King Shark, you know, got more prominence because of that. And like, oh, we got to have King Shark on the roster. And it's like, well, if you're making a shooter, if you're not going to have, like, Avengers has characters with guns, but they also have a comprehensive melee system. And so far, all they've shown for the most part is shooting, like as the base of the game. So I don't understand why they even chose King Shark in the first place, if that's what they wanted the game to be. What's up, Zacer? Like why even have him at all if you're just going to have everyone with guns? Like, my version of Suicide Squad would be closer to Avengers in terms of having a fleshed out melee system as well, so people could do a melee build if they wanted to have it. I've been good, Zacer. How you been? If anyone wants to join the actual game, if you're not on my PSN list, my name on PlayStation is Sadot Soul. I'll even throw that in the chat. So if anyone wants to play Heroic Assault, we can rock out with it. Sadot Soul in the chat. I'll add you, and you can just join my session, because this game has join in progress. Which is an awesome feature. You got 3 fours left. Sub KX, how you doing? Hop on now. Say less. Yeah, if you're already on my friends list, you can literally just join my session. I'll even make myself visible. Otherwise, add me, Sadot Soul. Oh. Got some backlog here. I just accept all. Yeah. Ashwin already answered this, but if you missed it, I'll answer it one more time. Jez Corden has somebody at Rocksteady who told him one of the reasons for the delay is the always online feature, and that's something they're going to rework. I don't know Jez Corden, obviously, but he's considered very reliable. He's obviously got a very big following, and that's what his information, his source told him. That's all I know about it. How much is Gotham Knights? It's actually pretty cheap right now. I know they're having they've been having a bunch of sales on it. Let's actually check the store. I know they had some sales recently. And you can get a free trial of it. I already have it, so they're not going to tell me. So I'll just have to Google it. Gotham Knights. Actually really cheap. You can get it right now on Amazon for $33 for PS5.
$33? That's cheap.
which is kind of crazy. No cap. It's it's more expensive on Steam. It's $60 on Steam, but it's $30 for PS5, which is it's actually really good. If you pick this up for like $30, I would do that in a second. I'll do that in a second. It's actually a fun game. We got one person here, so we can just jump in. The great thing about joining progress is they can join anytime. Add Air Montana. Add Taladia. So anyone wants to join, you can literally just hop right in. I'll be having a dance party while I wait. If anyone, I think Taladia said he wants to come in. We'll just have a dance off. Yeah, that's pretty cheap. But yeah, I think they're definitely going. I think they're more than likely going to announce a DLC this year for Gotham Knights. I wasn't sure, but when I looked at the facts, like the game actually did sell well. It's only been a few months since the last DLC. I'm like, I think they're definitely going to drop another one. It's definitely going to be paid. I don't think the next one is going to be free, which is perfectly fine. But I think they're going to announce one. I just don't know which one. Now, if it's going to, now I was told a while back that the first official DLC character was going to be Huntress. Now we saw the concept art for Damian Wayne and Catwoman, and it's curious that they talked about Damian Wayne before the game came out, but he never actually ended up in the story, from what we could tell. But I don't think they would do I don't think they would do another Robin as a DLC. So my money would be on Catwoman or Huntress. But I was someone specifically DM'd me a while ago and told me Huntress was the first DLC that they had planned in terms of new characters. I'm mad that they didn't let Batgirl twerk. Missed opportunity. So, mommy, I think DLC is coming. If it's not coming this year, I think they're going to announce it this year. Because I remember when I was doing my research for Gotham Knights, before I heard anything from any insiders or anything, I saw there was a leak that said they were planning to launch a lot of the DLC content in 2024. The head of the studio specifically in her interview teased potentially expanding the roster after launch in an interview. I was told by an insider that they did plan on having paid DLC. And now that I know that they actually made their sales goal and we got to see that leaked concept art for different characters, I think actual DLC is pretty likely. Because like I said, it hasn't even been that long since the last DLC. People just thought this was a live service game. So when they didn't have a bunch of DLC ready to go, other than what they launched with. People assumed, oh, the game is done, but it's not. It's not a live service game. So this was never supposed to have new DLC every few months. Oh, we got a man down. Let me get down here. I love just giving them the pimp hand. Get down, boy. Two-Face is also, and that's the thing. It's like Two-Face could. I heard there was a lot. Yeah, Tali was dropping some real interesting stuff in his video. They had apparently Cyborg had a role in the game. Two-Face, we know they did the character design for Solomon Grundy. Like some cool DLC from the game. Let me clear out some of these ads. As soon as I'm able. They're scaling my damage down. Unfortunately. Another thing they should fix. Your damage should not scale at all based on who you're playing with. Let me get rid of her. She's really annoying. Can you play as Starro? That's a serious question. No. The only characters you can play as in this game are the ones on the box. The ones advertised. Starro is specifically a character that you're transporting so you can get him out of here. Off the planet. Both people are down. Alright. And they're just going to keep resetting. It might not be possible because they're good. Enemies infinitely spawn. So it might not be possible to actually revive them because reviving is really slow. Alright, I got one. Vine Shine, thank you for the 15 months. How you doing, my friend? Got Robin just dropped in with my favorite outfit. That white ninja outfit on Robin is goated.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed that. Can you come help me? I'm hurt. Back at it, Robin? I'll be okay, thanks.
Let me put some mines down for you. I got the transport moving. Put a mine down. Oh, killed him. Working hard. Funny thing is, game. I didn't really have problems. My issues with the game were frame drops in multiplayer, and that got fixed like I think it might have been the actual Heroic Assault patch. But people were having issues on PC, and the latest patch seems to have fixed that.
You ever notice that it's always PC? Always?
Yeah.
Oh.
First time playing Heroic Assault.
Like, how many games do y'all need to be bad on PC before you start to realize it's not the game?
Oh yeah, don't worry about not being great at Heroic Assault. I've done this so many times. It's easy. It's easy enough to get through.
Yeah, I'm more of a Vermintide guy, but
Yeah, let me get you up. Keep fighting. Got him out of there.
so here's an interesting question. If they add in new DLC characters, do you think they'll add in new Heroic Assault stages?
I would have. It would be interesting. I kind of don't see it. I don't think they're going to add any more to the story because this kind of just concludes the story. I think what they should do and what they will more likely do is expand on the gear, which I hope they address that. More gear, more stuff to chase. I think Mr. Freeze will be like a villain story, kind of like how Harley Quinn was, but scaled to higher level players.
You mean Two-Face? Mr. Freeze is already in.
Two-Face, yeah. All right, let me get you back there. Whee! Bro, the amount of aggro I've been getting targeted with is crazy.
And yet somehow it's still less than Realm Reborn.
Never played it. Oh. This cat over here trying to break the machine. Yeah, basically gotta protect the machine. So somebody should be trying to stick by the machine. Just to make sure it doesn't get too much damage. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna be a lot. If this is your first time, you're gonna be a lot stronger by the end of this. You're gonna a lot higher gear. But yeah, basically, there's no point in fighting back here. You want to be following the you want to be following the containment unit. Like that. Like there's no point in wasting time. The point is to just come get the machine moving. You're basically getting the machine moving and keeping it moving. Once it stops, you repair it, keep it moving. Because the enemies are just going to infinitely spawn. So you don't want to focus on fighting them. You just want to clear enough of them so that you can actually repair the machine. It's like Saladia's down. Alright, got you. I think it might take too much damage. Yeah, it took too much damage. So if it takes too much damage, it'll restart. So just keep that in mind. Don't spend your time fighting the enemies. Try to stay close to the transport and protect it. Two-Face would be a perfect villain to expand vehicle combat customization, for sure. How many do we have? We currently have a full squad.
I know I'm just being personal here, but again, I want Azrael. Like anything else, just gravy, but I want that.
Fair enough. All right, let's start it back up. Get down. So these, you just got to shoot them. Shoot the balls. Let me put these close to the transport. Put more of these mines down. Put a crowd control. Think she should think Huntress. Huntress, yeah. Catwoman obviously would be the most popular they could add, but yeah, if they're going to add someone, they definitely want someone who.
I don't know if she'd be a skin or like how you do her, but Cassandra Cain would be an interesting addition.
We saw the concept art, so looks like they plan on giving her a whip. So that would be her melee weapon. I don't know what her range would be, but they could figure something out. Maybe she throws knives. What if you don't agree to not being a dick? Speaking of people who have so much money and are insiders, it's Jay Shotglass, my podcast partner.
Afternoon, Jay.
Yes, yeah, buddy. Don't we all? We were talking. People were hoping you had inside information about Suicide Squad, and I was telling them that's one area you're not familiar with because you don't ask the tough questions, and I don't think you have anyone at Rocksteady anyway. You're just a general WB guy. Sky Preach, how you doing? I mean, the thing is, even if Jay Shotglass was told information about specific features in Rocksteady coming to Gotham Knights or coming to Suicide Squad, he wouldn't be able to tell you anyway. It would be protected information. He's not a leaker. That's not his brand. They wouldn't be giving Jay Shotglass information with the expectation that he's going to share it anonymously. They would be given information on the basis of, oh, he's a content creator that we do business with, so we can tell him this thing because he's not going to talk. Yeah, he's not Jeff Grubb.
So gotta ask Sadot, what do you think of them doing Diablo 4? On the same weekend that Tears of the Kingdom comes out. Like, do they really think?
I don't see any issue there. Those are completely different audiences. The people who played Diablo 4 are definitely not going to cross over at all with the people playing Tears of the Kingdom. The issue with Nintendo is they've completely boxed themselves in. I know content creator. If you're a content creator, for instance, you're probably not covering Tears of the Kingdom because, for one, Nintendo hates content creators, and there's no cross-platform stuff going on. So the only people who are going to actually care about Tears of the Kingdom are the bigger games journalists who are allowed to cover Nintendo games without getting copyright strikes, and the dedicated players who still have a Switch. But a lot of people, myself included, do not care about Nintendo Switch whatsoever and have zero interest. Like, it'd be one thing if Tears of the...
yeah, I mean, I get it.
If Tears of the Kingdom was like multi-platform, that'd be another thing.
He's like, we gotta play Tears of the Kingdom together so we can discuss. So we can discuss it together. I'm like, before that, I was about one GameStop trip away from selling my Switch.
Yeah, what's up, Rifle? It's figured that it's been a while. Wanted to talk some Gotham Knights. Play a little Heroic Assault. Yeah, echo crazy. Let me actually turn this down. Because I think you're listening to the stream, and You turn the stream down a bit so it doesn't echo too crazy. Pokemon content creators. Bless those content creators, because that's dedication. To me, it'd be hard to make content for a game that literally hates me with every fiber of their being and wants to destroy my channel. Like, that's crazy to me. I actually can't even remember the last time I've given Nintendo money. Let me... Oh, they won't even let me revive them. Yeah, the X isn't even popping up. Yeah, I can't revive them. It might be glitched. God, I hate those. Been playing Resident Evil 0 to take a break from Avengers. I tried the demo. Wasn't something I was interested in getting at full price. I just couldn't get down with it. I was never huge. I was more of a fan of, funny enough, I was more of a fan of the movies than the actual games. And the movies were by no means great or even good, but first couple, I feel like the first couple Mila Djokovic ones were pretty good. Just fun, some fun action. But I was never a huge fan of the games. I definitely like the remake better than Village.
I always thought it was funny how in the movies...
That's not saying much, though. I hated Village.
They got a different guy for Wesker in every film.
The Netflix one was crazy. They would just... I don't know what they were doing with the Netflix Resident Evil show.
The Netflix one was what happens when a guy who's never played Resident Evil goes, let's make a show off of it because it's popular.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was like all video game adaptations throughout the 90s for the most part. It was like no one, and unfortunately that continued. Like they just didn't respect the source material. They just thought, hey, well, this has a built-in audience, so if we just put the name of the franchise, people will just come see it. That's how you got the Super Mario Brothers movie and the live action Street Fighter one, which were complete abominations. It's a miracle that the Mortal Kombat movie ended up as decent as it was. I think at least some people on that project actually played the games. Because that first one is legit. Second one was absolute dog water, but doesn't hold up at all. First one, I will stand by the first one. That original theme song still goes hard. I think the first one is actually better than the remake, the modern remake. No cap. It's not even just nostalgia. Like, it was legitimate fan service. It was like they actually made a game for people who like Mortal Kombat. Like, you could tell. Like, oh, these people just was like, hey, we want to make something that Mortal Kombat fans are going to enjoy, and they did that. The remake kind of tried that, but not really. Like the Mario movie, I haven't seen it yet. I don't like giving Nintendo money, so I haven't seen it yet. But from everything I hear, like, it's not the best movie by any means, but it's very clear they wanted to make a movie for fans of Mario.
The D&D movie was a lot better, in my opinion.
I heard that one's actually good. Really completely trash. Cole Young, main reason why I was trash. Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like the first movie understood the assignment. It's like, okay, Liu Kang is the main character, and we're just gonna have everyone in here. We're gonna have Shang Tsung, Sonya Blade, Johnny Blaze. We're gonna have Scorpion and Sub-Zero. We're gonna do all that. We're not gonna tell some Hollywood original nonsense trying to get our fantasy script off and just slap the Mortal Kombat name on there. We're gonna make this for the fans, and it showed. And we're just gonna have fun. They had a lot of fun. Clearly. Reptile, your favorite? They turn him into a bootleg miniature Killer Croc. Yeah, like they. Yeah, that's the thing. It was a victim of modern filmmaking. Like we see this a lot with anime adaptations. Like you either have people who don't respect the source material at all, or give you just enough to make you think they care, but they're really trying to do their own thing. Or they'll try to respect the source material, but the studio will get in the way. They won't have the budget. Like the most faithful adaptations of anime tend to be like Japanese. But those movies are usually terrible because they don't have the budget to make it work. And you need a lot of budget if you're gonna adopt a big action anime. That's part of the reason why I think they should try to adapt more non-action anime. Especially if budget is a concern. Because there's a lot of amazing anime that's not just shonen. But I guess the problem is you run into an issue where it's like There, a lot of the big name stuff tends to be shown. It tends to be big shonen and everything like that. But to this day, the best live action anime adaptation I actually saw was for Erased. Now, Erased is regarded as one of the best anime and manga of the last 10 years, but it wasn't this massive seller, you know, compared to like a Naruto or a Demon Slayer. But because it didn't require, you know, a ton of crazy effects, even though they didn't have a massive budget, they could just focus on the story, and they did an amazing job.
Those first Death Note movies weren't too bad.
The Netflix one was dog water. But they did get, which annoyed me because the effects weren't even bad. It's just more Hollywood nonsense. Like they didn't respect this. They didn't actually.
Ones.
Yeah, the Japanese ones, as long as the Japanese ones tend to be good because they like respect the source material. They just tend to not have, you know, money to make it look, you know, amazing.
The live action Rurouni Kenshin were surprisingly good.
You don't think they're going to be DLC, Jay? I think they are. I think they're going to have some DLC. I think they're going to at least do one paid DLC and see how it goes. It was obvious that they didn't plan to have like a crazy amount of DLC plans. They didn't. Obviously, there was a lot of production problems. That's why, you know, they didn't have a season pass. But I think we're going to get at least one paid DLC. Random kind of childish, but the Power Rangers 30th anniversary special is actually good. I keep forgetting to watch that. I gotta pull that up on Netflix. I just caught up on The Mandalorian, so I'm gonna get to it because I was a huge fan of the original Power Rangers. It was, you know, it was sad to find out.
You're gonna love it. It doesn't try to be anything. It's not. It's almost like just another episode.
Yeah, I got the impression that this was going to be like kind of Cobra Kai ish, so I was looking forward to it. But I gotta see what it's about. I really love the OG Power Rangers. I was obsessed with the OG Power Rangers. I was going
Who was your
crazy.
favorite Ranger?
I would see the White Power Ranger. No one was messing with Tommy.
Can't go wrong with Tommy.
I think my favorites were Zach and Zach, Tommy number one, then Zach, and then Kimberly.
And also, you can't help but love the Virgil Ranger. I mean, Quantum.
After the original, I did not care about Power Rangers at all. Like I watched the first movie was goated. I think I stopped after Turbo. Once we were done with Turbo, I was like, I didn't really care. All the other Power Ranger stuff, I was like, I could do without. Bit dark. I hope it'd be a bit darker. Like part of, you know, the campiness was part of the charm, but the one thing we wanted for was we were hoping for was that we get something a little higher budget, a little less kiddie. So if it's basically just a lot of fan servers, but a little darker story, I'm here for it. More violence. As long as they know the assignment. In the comics, there's a new Green Ranger. Tommy stays as the White Ranger. Rest in peace, Tommy. I was so sad when I found out he died. Rip Jason David Frank.
That was depressing.
That was my guy, man. Brother. Especially after I heard all the crazy stuff that went on behind the scenes about how toxic it was. I find out that Tommy's like Jason David Frank was one of the one valid people involved in the whole thing. I was like, damn. There's so many people that deserve to die more than Jason David Frank. Which is horrible to say, but also true.
Kathleen Kennedy, top of the list.
I would not endorse that. That's just weird. That's just weird. I meant like actual bad people. Like warlords or child traffickers. Kathleen Kennedy is just a producer that makes bad Star Wars projects.
Faustian bargains? Yes, she does.
Just throw you out the way. Oh, he's dead. For the first time, they say words like, "Oh, they sure." So they don't. So basically, the new Power Rangers is not made for 10-year-olds in the 90s. Got it. And in the last recent season, they introduced the first female LGBTQ. Well, of course, I mean that's obligatory now. Gotta get that tax cut.
Hey, that is and why for that stuff.
I play all my games on PS5. Yeah, I have not watched Power Rangers literally since the 90s. That is legitimately the last time I've watched anything Power Rangers related. I didn't even have my mods equipped. That's crazy. I forgot I was using Batgirl. I was doing damage and I didn't have and I literally just gave myself a handicap, and they still couldn't down me. Let me switch to Batgirl. You haven't watched the Samurai? Yeah, Samurai, all that.
Switching to Batgirl?
Samurai, all that stuff. Yeah, I was like, yeah. All right, let me rock out with Cake Girl real quick. Let's see what I got. I need a better regenerator. Can't believe I don't have one. If they update the game, they at very least should do something more about gear. The gear farming is not adequate. Knocking out an enemy with ability instantly heals certain amount. It's only a level 50. You should also be just able to upgrade gear, lower level gear to higher level gear. They really did not put enough thought into the gear system. In fact, let me see what my Robin's looking like. What I have on him. Got the shadow suit. Yeah, I don't like that. What do I have on Nightwing? Power Ranger RPM was set in a post-apocalyptic world with only one city left because it got destroyed by a computer virus. Was it ChatGPT that destroyed it? I can see that. I can see that happening. AI is getting crazy. I need way better perks. I don't know anything about Injustice or I don't follow those games at all. Yeah, I don't cover fighting games on the channel. Unless it's anime. The only thing I know from that studio is that I hear that they're supposed to be announcing Mortal Kombat 12, I think they're up to. Yes, I saw that rumor like a couple weeks ago or something that they're doing a Mortal Kombat 12 announcement soon. Yeah, but I have not played a Mortal Kombat in a very long time. Not really my thing. Yeah,
The
so
one thing I am curious on, does it have to be one each, or could like 2 people play Red Hood?
they don't do anything like that. You can be whoever you want. They don't limit multiples of the same character.
Cool.
You been to Ed Boon's office? Of course, J Flex Blast. I hear he's been in the Elon Musk office as well. There's not an office Jay Shockblast has not been invited to. I hear Jay Shockblast was invited to the head of Rocksteady Studio personally to play Suicide Squad because of Justice League. And he's the reason that it got delayed. It didn't get the Jay Shockblast seal of approval. So he told them to delay it. Jake is there to say still have the right facts. Studios be flying them out on yachts to play games. They be picking them up in a helicopter, take them to the studio to play new games. That's how we try to have you fair. This is your revenge. You got Suicide Squad delayed. So petty. You're white, Jay. You could just walk right back over the border. No one would have said anything. I don't believe for a second that maybe you haven't been picked up at your house in a helicopter. That's kind of sketchy. But I firmly believe Jay Shockblast has ridden in a helicopter at some point. You will not tell me otherwise. Luis, focus on following the transport. You won't go down as much if you focus on hanging out by the transport.
Is the bats a shield, or should I be worried about them?
There's no friendly fire. The bats just block the enemies. What's up, NBA Dreams? Jay's more skeptical about DLC. I'm expecting DLC to get announced this year. Oop. Let the drone out. Since we should have a Thomas Wayne. I don't think Thomas Wayne's in this universe. I know that they have Damian. I think they have Batwoman. At least the character that becomes Batwoman. Yeah, Cain. I remember seeing her. I don't think they have Thomas.
You could make an argument for Azrael being the new Batman, since his goal was always to become the new Batman.
Yeah, that's a. It's just funny to me that to this day one of the main complaints about this game is just from people who wanted Batman. It's like a lot of people didn't play the game, and their main complaint is that it didn't have Batman.
Well, it drove me crazy, all the people going, "Oh, it's not another Arkham game." Like, you've had 4 of those. How many do you need?
And the crazy thing is, people were mad about Arkham Knight anyway. Like, when the Arkham Knight came out, people hated it. And now they're just meat riding like it's the greatest game ever made. Like, I remember all the backlash against that game. I remember people had a lot of problems.
Launch, but, yeah.
I didn't even play it at launch, but I have it. I played it a little bit on stream. I think I'll go back and finish it on stream. But I hated the Batmobile stuff, but the game itself I thought was pretty good.
The only complaint from anyone, the only complaint I ever got from any of my friends who were huge Batman fans was they were like, "Oh man, it sucks that Arkham Knight wasn't actually an original character." I was like, it was obvious it was Jason.
The Batmobile, legitimate complaint, but other people just didn't like the story. They had all sorts of issues, and I was like, okay, cool, perfectly valid. But Now when they reveal Gotham
I
Knights,
thought
it's
Scarecrow was a great villain.
people are just like, oh, why is it Gotham Knight? What is this? Where's Batman? It's like, God, it's like, my God, y'all didn't even like Arkham Knight, and now you're mad that Gotham Knights doesn't have Batman? Like, come on. Get over it.
Well, the sad thing is just, and I don't know if it's Suicide Squad further proves it or whatever, but you know, people have just gotten so used to getting what they want from complaining that it's like they just assume, oh, if I don't like this, I'll complain because then they have to fix it.
It's also the internet. People just feel like they could just get away with whatever because it's anonymous. People think that just because they have the ability to basically give their opinion,
Right, like
that they should.
People who absolutely hated Last of Us 2. Hated it. But even then, I was still like, okay, this is ridiculous that anyone is sending a voice actress death threats over a character she didn't even make. That's just stupid.
Yeah, there's a lot of mental illness in the gaming community. Like, I thought the Last of Us 2 story was dog water, but I thought it was a great game.
Oh, is that what we're calling it now? Is mental illness? I thought it was called being an asshole.
No, there's a difference between just generally just being a bad person and this type of stuff you see. Like, if you're saying that you want to unalive someone because of a video game, you're not right in the head. Like being rude is just, you know, is one thing, but all the death threats, that's a whole new level of weird.
Unless it's Elden Ring fans, then you get a pass.
FromSoft fans those Soulsborne players are so like that's I feel like touch grass was invented specifically for Souls players. We had one Souls player who kept stalking me across multiple streams because I made a joke about how goofy Elden Ring's combat looks with the whole dodge roll, same attack, sword attack, drink potion, rinse repeat. And he wanted to debate me on it. He wanted me to apologize. I was like, bro, y'all weird. This is never happening.
They're not even the best at their own genre. Like, Neo 2 and Remnant are both better than any Souls game.
Prepare for hate. They're gonna come for you.
Yeah, I don't care. Getting hate from Souls fans is just how you know you're doing something right.
Yeah, legitimately, if you're that pressed over a video game, like, you need friends badly and purpose in your life. Soulsborne is for people with tiny peepees. No lies detected. Jay Shot Class with the facts as usual. I actually think that's scientifically proven.
I mean, that's a little harsh, but true.
I think scientists actually did a study that found 100% of dedicated Souls players have small peepees. In fact, I heard the longer you play Souls games, the more your peepee shrinks from lack of testosterone. And all the Mountain Dew and Cheeto dust.
Yeah, I mean, like, the first problem there is why would you even drink Mountain Dew? Like, can you not afford anything good?
I don't drink soda in general, but if I was going to drink soda, it would not be a Mountain Dew. Soulsborne is the F650 of video games. Yeah, the great thing about this is
So,
if you lose
I
collection,
actually
you can
am
just
not, like, a
come back in.
huge DC fan out of Batman.
That immediately gets you canceled.
Is Starro immortal, or what's the story here?
He is an alien life form with mind control powers. He can very much be killed, but he's very powerful.
That's good 80s writing right there.
I love this beatdown. So J Kun, you just walked into. So shout out to J Kun Prime.
The thing with Suicide Squad, the thing.
He just walked into some Soulsborne
The thing with
slander.
Suicide Squad that drives me absolutely insane is like you built this game as such a it's gonna be shooting and timely shooting and like. I like King Shark, but how did y'all miss the opportunity of Deathstroke?
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, like the roster literally makes no sense, and it looks like they were just trying to cash in on the James Gunn Suicide Squad hype, which turned out to not be that much because the movie didn't do well.
Oh, I thought they were just trying to cash in on being Fortnite.
It was clear that the influences look very much like, I see a lot of Sunset Overdrive, a little bit of Avengers, but a lot of Sunset Overdrive actually. But I could tell that they were looking at the James Gunn Suicide Squad. They're like, oh, King Shark is a thing now. We gotta have Harley Quinn now because she's big now in DC, and we gotta have King Shark. He's part, and Captain. Like it's like. Bro, you're making a shooter. Like why is King Shark in this game? If you're just going to make a shooter, put that use the original Arkham's Arkham.
I think my
lineup.
comic book shop has my favorite picture, which is it's the old animated show Harley Quinn, and she's looking at the new one, and she's just like, that is such a slut.
Classic Harley. Gotta activate this finally. Got it. Yeah, the original Arkham Origin, like those games were setting up their own Suicide Squad.
Maybe.
And that roster would have been actually like way better. Like they had, in some ways, like they had Morris, they had Bronze Tiger, they had Deathstroke, Catwoman was originally part of it, but they let her go. Like they were building up their own little universe. I don't know how it ended up being.
My friend asked me this yesterday, and I actually do not know this. Has Jason ever been part of the Suicide Squad?
I don't know offhand, but it's possible, and I doubt it though. But comics, who knows? Yeah, I realized.
I don't think he classifies as a villain. I think he's an anti-hero.
Yeah, Luis is down again. Try to revive him because I'm getting swarmed trying to use hit this last switch and protect. Yeah, stop focusing on enemies. Focus on clearing space and protecting the panel because I have to activate this switch. There we go. Street Fighter having a showcase. Yeah, I saw Street Fighter 6 trending. I don't cover fighting games, so not my thing, but I'm keeping a little eye on Street Fighter 6 just because it looks great. Looks like a great game, and obviously they know Capcom knows how to
Street Fighter 6 looks
give the people what they want.
phenomenal.
Specifically, Chun-Li and Cammy look phenomenal.
My cousin asked me to pick it up for his birthday because it's like a day before his birthday is Street Fighter 6, and he's a huge Street Fighter fan. So I was like, sure, I'll get it for you, whatever. Like, then after the Cammy trailer, I was like, and now I want it for Cammy Mommy.
Oh yeah, well, Cammy, we were watching we were live streaming it, and when I saw Cammy come out, I was like, oh, good lord. Like, Chun-Li was great enough, but when I saw how they did Chun-Li, I was like, oh, I know Cammy's going to be good.
That may be the single best redesign in fighting game history.
Yeah, that was actually good. And they still have the original. Peep the Division showcase. I've not. I haven't even finished the first.
You know, I have to say,
I haven't even finished the first Division.
I'm not like a sanely huge fighter fan, but they're getting more so they better and better. Like, yes, Street Fighter looked great, Tekken looked great. Architech games are looking phenomenal. Of course, I've always liked them because they're basically anime fighters. But they're getting really good at just like making you go, this is a great looking game. The downside of this, to me at least, is you have to question, like, are they putting so much money in the production trailers that they're not putting any into the game itself?
Have I heard anything about a third PlayStation exclusive Marvel game? Yeah, I've been asked about that before. I have no idea about a PlayStation exclusive. The only Marvel game I know.
Punisher. Let it be Punisher.
The Marvel games that we know. The Marvel games that we know for sure. Obviously, are the PlayStation exclusive ones are from Insomniac, Spider-Man and Wolverine. But I don't know anything. I don't know what I assume the Sky.
I'm not even a Wolverine fan.
I assume the Skydance ones aren't going to be. They're going to be multi-platform. I assume it's going to be the same thing with Iron Man and all the EA games. I hear Ubisoft is doing one, but I don't know. They haven't officially revealed it yet, but Ubisoft doesn't do PlayStation exclusives. The Wonder Woman one is going to be multi-platform, so I don't know where the PlayStation exclusive would come from. Nothing I've heard anything like it. I don't know who'd be making it if they were doing one. PlayStation exclusive.
Oh man, Claudia glitched again.
What studio would even what first party studio would even be in a position to do it? I'm trying to think. Like Square Enix
I don't
did.
think that
Square Enix did
I
one
don't
earlier,
think that
but
Sony is the type to
the studio who did Square Enix,
force someone to.
Forspoken, they're
I
going to be shutting down, I think.
could get behind a
So I'm not
done by Naughty Dog, but
so I'm not sure who would be working on one. I have no idea who'd be working on one. The Sony's main first party studios. It'd have to be a smaller one that we don't know about, because all the major studios that I know at Sony are working on other stuff. Like Bungie is working on an original IP. Santa Monica pretty much only does God of War. So I don't know who would be in a position to do it.
You're a big gamer. Your opinion on this. What do you think of the EA game called Immortals of Avenium, the one that's boasting first-person shooter magic?
It literally just looks like Tiny Tina's Wonderland with more realistic graphics. Meh. I'm waiting for Arc 2.
Wonderland's DLC was very disappointing.
Tiny Tina Wonderland's DLC. Love the game. DLCs were absolute dog water. I'm glad I didn't have to pay for them. What's up, DJSD? I think the Gotham Knights DLC will be announced sometime this year. Who do you think is going to publish an X-Men team game? I don't know who's going to be doing the X-Men team game, because I know Square Enix, I heard at one point Square Enix was working on an X-Men game with one of their Japanese studios. That was going to be the third Marvel IP that they licensed, because they licensed 3, and we ended up getting Guardians and Marvel's Avengers, and the third one was supposed to be X-Men, but I think they might be out of the Marvel business. I don't know if they're going to use that last one. I don't think they got too far in development. I think after they sold their American studios, they said they're basically going to focus on NFTs going forward and original IPs. So I don't know who's going to do an X-Men game. I mean, it could be EA.
Since you mentioned that,
EA is working on like 3 games. So we don't know what that third game is.
What the dude who is the head of Square Enix said?
The head of Square Enix, what do you say?
He said the reason for Forspoken failed was because it didn't have enough NFTs in it.
Yeah, that's cap. that company's in horrible trouble. All right, I'm actually wrap up this.
It was insane. You were like, if there were more NFTs, everyone would have bought it.
I'm actually wrap up the stream, but I appreciate everyone hanging out. It was fun hopping on Gotham Knights for the first time in a while, chatting DLC. Hopefully, sometime this year, we get the next announcement, because I'm looking forward to some new content. Check out the new videos on the channel. We got 2 new shorts dropped today, and of course tomorrow is the podcast over on the After Show podcast channel. So definitely go subscribe if you haven't already to that second channel, YouTube / the After Show. It's in the chat as well. And maybe I'll have a video if there's news, but I probably will have something sometime over the weekend. But everyone take care. I'm Sadot the Gamer, signing out.